What's your unique sales proposition? What is it that you do, and who is it that you serve? Because I can tell you this: Planet Fitness knows it serves low budget people, and it knows it can outspend you in ads because they have hedge fund people behind them. They don't care about profit this year or next year or the next 5 years or the next 10 years. They just want to get value over the course of 10 to 20 years because they already have their financial portfolios. They have hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're groups of people. So they're not all in on it. Some guy might put in 5 million, one guy might put in 1.3. I mean, they have a chunk of money to blow. You can't compete with that. So you got to know who it is that you are doing. We do these exercises in the School of Boxing group. We do them, and we do them on streams because I don't like it. So anybody that's where I am was 20 years ago, that's who my service is. You know, people who were walking in. I walked in blind, and I was stupid because I kept thinking it was about me, how good I am. Everybody can relate to that. Every trainer thinks they're good. Dude commented on my comment today, one of my posts that's crushing it. And basically just like, tell me your background. What have you done? I fought, I trained, I this, that. And I'm like, that's your problem. You're probably 60 years old living in 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm doing numbers like you would never imagine doing because I'm teaching ecosystems. And the ecosystem is how many ways people will hear you through mail, through email campaigning, through website, through funnels, through having your social media be the top of your funnel, having all of these different sequences going. And at the same time, they're hearing you amplified. That's an ecosystem. They're touching your blogs, your newsletters. They love your product. It has zero to do with your training. It's your ecosystem. And without it, you're just a guy. With it, you're undeniable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Okay. So you understand now why we have the School of Boxing. It's not about boxing. It's
Yeah.
about business awareness and what to do with the actual boxing program if you decide to have a pro-am or fitness to boxing target market where a person might come in and you have a value ladder of they come in as for fitness, but then they want to try even celebrity boxing or YouTubers, like, or you want to go to the amateurs or, dads who want to maybe work with their son. So
Yeah.
these things, this is an ecosystem that we've built.
Okay.
It's not a boxing program. It's not a skills guide. It's a business framework. This is how you do it if you want to say, all right, you want to walk into the gym and enjoy training and working with people and not being a slave, because that's what's going to happen. 100% of the trainers that get into this thing, this is their story. You can't win without a business plan and a model and structure and an ecosystem. You can try, but 9 out of 10 restaurants close because they started by chefs.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that makes so much sense. I mean, it makes so much sense. It does. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So think about what you want. What do you see in 12 months? You can't just say, oh, well, I see this great program happening. It's like, okay, so I can promise you that won't happen because you're not intentional. Like, I got to be intentional to get you to me. How long you been following us?
A year, maybe a year.
Took me 12 months to get you to me. Right. So what if I'm not posting? What if I'm not intentional? What if I just put my website out and was training in the gym without all of the 600 videos that go up every 6 weeks?
I mean, that's so true. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have.
You're in my ecosystem.
Yeah, it makes sense. Man, that makes so much sense.
But I went and paid 6 figures in learning messaging, sales, things like that. You can't do it without this stuff. But everybody tries to avoid it, and they're never going to have success. Like every gym owner I speak to, 100%, they're not doing anything right. They're not doing anything right, and they know it. They're admitting it, and I'm saying, okay, let's do it right. And it takes work. I mean, we have to teach people how to be intentional. Nobody cares about how good you can do a squat.
Right.
I promise you. Nobody wants to fucking do a squat, but I can guarantee you this. They want to hear that they can walk South Beach and turn heads and go to your high school reunion, and people are like, what are you doing? They want the result. You hear people say that, but people, they don't care about the process. They don't care about how good you taught them how to throw a jab. They love the discipline, but they love the outcome better. Nobody's ever going to bully you again. Like when you walk through the hall with your chest up, the finest girl in your class is going to be like, wow, he's so confident. That's the kind of husband I want. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn all of that shit.